Good morning. We could call this meeting to order. Jake, roll call, please.
Keisha Johnner,
Here.
Mark Ramey,
Here.
Steve McCombs.
Here.
Entertain a motion for today's agenda.
Motion to approve. Second.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey.
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye. Communications?
Nope.
I have none.
No.
Okay.
No.
Public comments. This is the portion of the agenda which we would hear from comments that are not on the agenda below. Could be possibly future topics for agendas. Any public comments? Renee, anything online? Seeing none? Move on. Entertain a motion for today's consent agenda.
Motion to approve. Second.
Ramey.
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
On to business. Item number 1 is the public hearing in regarding the proposal to enter into a development agreement with Atkins Specialized Centers LLC in the city of Pleasantville, Iowa. This is the public hearing portion. Is there any public comments? Seeing none? Entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Johnner.
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Ramey.
Aye.
Item number 2 is resolution 2023-83. Is the resolution approving and authorizing the execution of development agreement and among Marion County, the Atkins Specialized Carriers LLC in the city of Pleasantville. Board, do we have any discussion regarding the resolution? And do we have, I believe we have Joe Merstick online. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
All right. And then do we by chance have the developer at all, Joe?
Not with me. I'm not sure whether he's online separately or not.
Do we have, I didn't know if we had Michael on at all or this was.
Michael is on.
Yeah.
Michael is.
So I did have, I had spoke with Jamie, the developer last week, and wanted to make sure that, he and I could have a conversation to make sure that, he knew the agreement in which we were, we were signing as a board, would lock him in. And so I kind of was hoping that he would be on today because I just wanted to reaffirm, the approximately $2 million in construction by December 31st of 2025. And that would be a construction of a building of 27,300 square feet for commercial development. Jamie had spoke a little bit about needing to sell some lots, and to pay his portion to the city, which I believe was August 1st of 24. He has 300,000 he has to pay. And then December 31st of 24, he has another 300,000. And then he has to construct the building by December 31st of 25. So.
Yeah, Joe, does that conform with your understanding with the city of Pleasantville?
It does, yeah. Just in addition to what Chairman or John had said, is we are working with rural water on the rural water line on 35th to get Mr. Atkins to be able to sell those lots a little bit quicker than what's planned. I think initially we're going to probably have to backtrack as far as our infrastructure until next year, just because we're running out of time. But I don't anticipate any issues with that at all.
And then as far as the agreements go, they've been reviewed by both sets of attorneys. So, and there's been no further questions or comments from either legal counsel.
Yeah, this is pretty much what we've been working on the last year or two.
That is correct. That's correct, including the dollars.
Right.
Steve, there's been no material change.
I guess I have a question, and maybe I'm digging deeper into it than I should. But when, obviously you have the development between the city and the developer, and then we would sign. I mean, I wonder what happens when the developer, if he doesn't produces this 2,700 square foot, 27,000 square foot commercial building? Michael, can you state any of that, or do we still have assessment of $2 million?
Yeah, so this kind of is interesting because you're the county, right? So those minimum assessment agreements, we'll often see a project be for a single parcel, and we'll see date certain for completion with an agreed upon minimum assessment, and that's the whole project. What's unique about this is the parcel will have there's multiple parcels out there. We're talking about on one parcel where the building will be completed. So the minimum assessment value is just for one part of that whole project. Now, the theory is that whether they get it built by that time certain or not, whatever's there, it should be assessed at the $2 million. And this development agreement in typical form would also go to the county assessor for their sign up and blessing on the minimum assessment agreement. So that piece remains. Something that I've run on this since the start is an assumption of any impact back to the county being based on no value being created out there. So this agreement with the 2 million hasn't been baked into any of the preliminary information provided to the board. Doesn't mean I'm not confident everything will go through or anything like that. It's just I'm always going to be the most conservative on these when we're running it for the county. But in theory, whether that's built or not, there's a $2 million assessment on that parcel as of 1/1/26.
Yeah, in terms of structure, Michael, this is no different though than anything we've done with Prairie Ridge or the VA. Conceptually, I mean, those projects could have had no construction either. And we did the pro formas based on a no construction model, correct?
That's right. Board member Ramey, but the difference is here, the $2 million of minimum assessment is actually kind of a new hook for the county in the county's favor.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
That's an extra protection for us.
Correct.
Yes.
Not having the developer here, that's just one of those protections that I, looking for the taxpayer, making sure that there is going to be that $2 million assessment coming January 1st of 26 would be, important to me. I did ask Jamie to be here or at least Zoom on. And I wish he could be here just so we could make sure and go through that. But I will say that added protection does it.
That's why we did it, yeah.
Yep. So that would be my question. I appreciate you guys at least just discussing that. I don't know if the board has any other discussion.
I do not.
Nope.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve resolution 2023-83.
Second.
McCombs,
Aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye. On to item number 3 is the Marion County Engineer, which would be the Knoxville area sinkhole update. Tyler Christian, please.
Yeah, so I was asked to give an update on the status of the sinkhole. So just the brief overview is April 12th, we had a sinkhole appear along 135th place, partially within the right of way, partially outside of the right of way. At the end of May, Bruning Rock Products assumed responsibility of that sinkhole, and in the middle of June provided a draft plan for repair and mitigation of that sinkhole. It wasn't until early August that we received the final version of that plan and subsequently approved a permit for a work within the right of way, authorizing them to proceed with that plan. And they immediately began work to repair the sinkhole based off of that plan in early August. August 25th, construction ceased due to their concern with the slope stability and dewatering issues, both of which we had raised early in June. that they needed to address. And so really no major work has happened since August 25th. During that time, they saw a redesign for a different method of attack for mitigating the sinkhole. Ultimately, it was determined by them to return to the original plan and modify that slightly to get to basically to get to bedrock depth. And so about a week ago, they started working intermittently to kind of clean the site up and, make some of the slopes safer so they could commence work to get to another 20 feet deep. And as part of that, they've been making a jig to do basically make what I would call a coffer dam out of sheet pile. The schedule keeps changing. So last week I was told they were going to be here Tuesday last week to start with the sheet pile. They're bringing in their own bridge crew. It's, Bruning owns a bridge company. And so they were going to bring in a crane and the crane's here and start driving pile last Tuesday. Then it was today. And now it sounds like the sheet pile will arrive today. Whether they drive any today, I guess we'll see. My guess would be no, but because the jig was not ready when I was there yesterday. So I guess that's the current status. There is still a temporary water line that's been relocated twice now. Or the temporary line was put in and then it's been relocated since it was originally put in post failure. Rural Water, I've basically given them all the information that I have about the schedule and said it would be in their best interest to work directly with Bruning on a location outside of any potential future failure or any area that could be disturbed as part of the mitigation and repair process. And I guess I can't tell you the status of that. I don't know where that's at.
Yeah, that was the only question I was gonna have, Tyler, if when they get that water line relocated before freeze.
Yeah, I don't know where they're at with that. I know that we're exploring those options of getting it outside of any areas. I guess something I said there, I'll go back a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, upon request, we received maps that Iowa Geological Survey had been provided from Bruning, which were different than any maps that we had seen before. So we're asking questions about, the extent of the mine and the extent of the failure right now. And I did pass those along to Rural Water as well.
Yeah, Tyler, and this
And-
process, it's been very long, and I appreciate you and your staff, your due diligence, and making sure this is done correctly, and staying, having the communication, and also with Counselor, Harmon, he was, been very active, and I appreciate that. So my biggest concern is making sure that we can get the rural water taken care of. We do need to get this hole taken care of, but it needs to be done correctly. And I believe that Bruning has now seen originally what the request was is the right way.
I will say I've never had any formal correspondence with the Rural Water Board.
Say, who's responsible for that, Tyler, us
yeah,
or them?
Them.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have their own board.
Okay.
I don't know how many or who all is on it, but I've been working with Austin there, and
And we've had great
And-
communication with him too.
and
and he
yeah, I
knows
think
the
he
concern.
understands it's their responsibility, and that's doesn't seem to be a question. They have to deal with property owners, for easements and whatnot. I told him, anything they need from us, we would expedite, which generally we're turning a permit around in a day or two anyway. But, as soon as we saw that come through, we would get it turned around if they needed permits within the right of way to do something. We've offered. Generally, they are outside the right of way with a lot of our rural water mains, sometimes within, but not very often. I did offer that in this case, but right now, they've basically encompassed the entire width of the right of way for the repair. So, so they, for future protection of their line, they want, it's my understanding they want to be outside of any potential settlement area, if they can.
Tyler has also been in communication legislatively to see what we can do for future possible sinkholes in this matter, so.
Yeah,
I
on a couple
appreciate,
different fronts there, the mapping being one, future mapping, which is handled under geological survey, and then administration and regulatory authority for sinkholes and mining.
so
Some gaps there.
Kelly has met with
Unfortunately, we found that out.
Tyler, yes, met with Tyler. And I do know, I believe next week, possibly you guys are meeting again to visit about what can be done next session, to visit with legislators, so.
I find it real curious, Tyler, that they come up with some different maps that they never had before.
Never, that we had never seen.
That we had never seen, yeah.
Whether they had them, I don't know about
Okay.
that, I guess.
Right.
They were different in a number of ways than what we had seen, which ours were 15 years old.
Definitely something that our county road department cannot, I mean, we can't constantly take care of issues like this. It's just too demanding and everything else that you guys have going on. So it's imperative that we have some regulatory authority.
And there are a couple of other things that we are working on with Bruning. The sinkhole proper and repair of that is one thing, but just for future, that there's other items what we're working on for the right of way protection, I guess.
So
Well,
And a lot of that comes to mapping.
thank you and your staff for all the work you've done on that, Tyler.
thank you. Any further discussion? Any questions? No? Entertain a motion to close discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner,
Aye.
McCombs.
Aye.
Item number 4 is Board of Supervisor updates. Mr. Amy?
Nothing.
I do have one. SERPTA is in the process of restructuring. And I'm going to defer to Tyler to explain that because he's on that subcommittee.
Yeah, so we had a subcommittee meeting earlier this week. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, it was last week. So I guess there's 3 options on the table. SERPTA is currently under the Des Moines area MPO. So the MPO and SERPTA staff are kind of one and the same, although we have a person that 80% of his time is dedicated to SERPTA duties. And again, SERPTA is the Central Iowa Transportation Planning Group. I'm not gonna get the name exactly right there, but it includes Polk County, but it also includes all the neighboring counties to Polk. So Story, Boone, Dallas, Marion, Jasper, Warren County, Madison. So and you all are also aware of MIPA. So the Mid-Iowa Planning Alliance, the county is part of that, Marion County. And so and it was under the MPO as well. So their board has decided that MIPA is not, they don't want MIPA under them anymore. So MIPA is looking for a new home. At the same time, there's been discussions about SERPTA, nothing formal, no formal action by the MPO's board, which again is made up of metro cities and a few county entities. So SERPTA is kind of just looking ahead, would it be better to stay with the MPO? Lately, with discretionary grant funding, there are times when we are in competition with each other for the same money. Do we align better with MIPA for transportation, economic development, and housing planning and everything that comes along with MIPA and grant writing? So, and then the other option would be completely a standalone. So no decisions have been made by our board either, the SERPTA board. But there are 3 options: stay with the MPO, go out on your own, or combine with MIPA, which means they would, they pay rent, a portion of the rent for the MPO office, but they would have to find a new office location. Staffing would be about the same, financially, it's about the same, the options that were presented to us at the subcommittee meeting last week, so. Lots of changes there. I think as far as transportation planning, in the end, it really won't have that big of an impact. I think we could still work with the MPO and bounce ideas off of them, which we don't do that often anyway. As our own individual entities, did the staff bounce some things off of each other? Being in the same office, maybe, but they don't feel like that would necessarily go away either, so. At this time, the MPO is not kicking SERPTA out. They did MIPA, but we're just looking at the writing on the wall because there's lots of changes going on at the MPO. And I think, they got rid of their director recently. And so lots of changes there, and we're just trying to look ahead a little bit.
Mine would be Central Iowa Workforce Development this Friday. And then also I'd like to remind the board to be thinking about your legislative items. Hopefully by the end of this month, lobbyist Kelly Myers and Paschke and Skinner and Paschke actually, is actually how it's called, could be present, and we discuss legislative items and possible contract renewals. So that's all I have.
I'm good.
Make a motion to go into close open session. Is that what we do, Jake?
Enter into closed session, that's
Okay,
fine.
enter into closed session.
Second,
Fine.
McCombs,
aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
Number 10, reconvene open session.
Entertain a motion to reconvene from closed session.
So moved.
Second,
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
Aye.
McCombs.
aye.
No action taken from the closed session. Entertain a motion to,
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
McCombs,
aye.
Ramey,
Aye.
Johnner.
thank you, everyone.